The question that I think America needs to ask, especially the MAGA faithful, is the following. Is Trump's destruction and collateral damage worth whatever it is you feel Trump's value is? And I call that trickle down Trump, because in this breaking story, you're about to find out the pendulum hasn't just started swinging. Oh no, it's just swung. Remember when this was a valid question just a few years back right here about Trump and his value? This?
You mentioned former President Donald Trump. He's endorsed 247 of the Republican candidates on the ballot. Has it really mattered?
Because it showed up in things to come when it came to J.D. Vance.
While it wasn't the first primary contest of the 2022 midterms, last night's Ohio primary was arguably the most significant political event to date.
And Sean Duffy, who today is the head of the FAA, weighed in like this.
Really amazing how well he has done in the relationship that he has with the voter base. I mean, I know that as a former politician.
Buckeye State GOP voters backing Trump-endorsed J.D. Vance, who trailed in the polls just 3 weeks ago, but leaped to the front of a crowded field once he got the backing from the former president.
And Duffy touts a Trump endorsement.
Endorsements don't really matter. You want endorsements, but they don't really change the outcome of an election unless it's a Donald Trump endorsement.
So yes, we had the trickle-down Trump theory working, but then this question began.
But whether it's mattered or not, how much of an impact do you think it will have in President Trump's?
And then came the truth from one Lincoln Project, Rick Wilson, here.
Donald Trump is a naturally destructive creature. He always has been.
Likely announcement that he's running again.
He destroyed the business his father gave him. He's destroyed several of his marriages. He's bankrupted 2 casinos. He's great at destruction.
And that forces us to discuss the true cost of the trickle-down Trump lies and collateral damage.
Donald destroying the ability of air traffic controllers and weather forecasters and wildland firefighters to do their jobs. Phenomenal. A+, bro. But the rest of it isn't working. He promised with this insane trade war from the beginning, we'll be so rich you won't know what to do with all the money you're making. And what has it delivered so far?
Because today, the trickle-down Trump theory is actually this.
Nothing but destruction here at home.
It was the spring of 2018 when you noticed something you'd tried to avoid for a long time. Donald Trump wasn't just a little off kilter. He wasn't just different. As much as you loved him and your job at the White House, it was frightening to see him up close, unfocused, agitated.
Even if you believed that Donald Trump was going to use trade to change the behavior of other nations, it hasn't happened.
Because no matter what, Trump's endgame always comes from a place of this.
And as much as you hated to admit it, delusional.
And in this breaking story, holy smokes, in a massively deep red state, look at what a Trump endorsement now really means today. It's like the dollar value, only worse. Here.
Longtime GOP lawmaker may lose his seat after Trump comes through with endorsement. North Carolina State Senate President Phil Berger faces an unexpectedly difficult primary challenge despite securing Donald Trump's endorsement, according to reporting from the Washington Post. Berger, who has led the Republican caucus since 2011, is struggling to fend off local sheriff Sam Page as voters prepare for the March 3rd primary. His political future remains uncertain even with the president's backing. According to the Post, Berger lacks a personal relationship with Trump. Multiple advisors attempted to leverage the issue by approaching the White House with an offer. If the president put his thumb on the scale for Berger, the senator would pursue redistricting favorable to Republicans, potentially netting the party an additional House seat. In an interview, Berger vehemently denied any quid pro quo and said he never spoke with Trump to seek his support. But several weeks after he helped pass the new map meant to net one more House seat for Republicans, the president made an unusual endorsement in a local race. The Post is reporting. Trump issued the endorsement in December, yet Berger's re-election prospects remain bleak. The Post reports, the race shows how the power of Trump's endorsement can advance his agenda, but it could also end up demonstrating Trump's limits as Republicans are bracing for electoral losses, with Berger's team privately expressing concern that the incumbent could lose next week. One North Carolina GOP consultant characterized the matchup as David versus Goliath. Republicans have also raised concerns that Berger's substantial spending in the primary could drain resources needed for other state legislative races in the general election. election. Berger countered that party officials have historically underestimated primary threats, and he could not afford to make that mistake.
Yeah, how about that? Deep red North Carolina, one of the first states to be called every single election since I was 18 years old. And now, today, people will not say it out loud, but the truth of the matter is, when Donald Trump gives you an endorsement, it has more likely to hurt you. And now today, when Trump actually gives you an endorsement, it has a better chance of hurting you than it does actually helping you. And I think by the time we get to, mid-October, that's going to be more like 66-33. I can't wait to see the first person who's willing to say out loud, I don't want an endorsement from Donald J. Trump. Woo! Cannot wait for that day. Break out the champagne. You guys like and share the video and stay frosty.